Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, July the 25th, 2025. Welcome to another eBay video. In tonight's video, I'm going to be discussing a huge increase in cancellations, the likes that I've never seen in my 25-year eBay career. I'm also going to be talking about the fallout from something called heavy browse. I'm going to be talking about a crazy chargeback I received this week. Also, non-paying bidders once again. Bidders with unusually low offers. And I'm going to talk about as many other eBay topics as I can squeeze in to my show. So that being said, let's get right into it. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Joe DeMarco. I come out every Friday night and talk about the trials and tribulations of selling on eBay. I'm not out here to brag and tell you how much money I made and show you my brand new car. That's not what it's about. I'm a realist. I want to talk about the everyday eBay seller, what happens to us, and what we can do to try and protect ourselves. All right? I'm very realistic. I'm very honest. You may not always agree with me, but you know I'm truthful. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start out with a chargeback. I don't get many chargebacks, thankfully, but I had one the other day, and the reason that they used was there was an issue with the transaction, which is probably the most vanilla explanation in the world. I have no idea what their issue was, but on a hunch, I went back to the transaction on eBay, and the person actually left me positive feedback mentioning the item itself. It was a Saturn hubcap, and they said something like, "Excellent condition, very satisfied with my Saturn hubcap." Yet, they opened a chargeback saying there was an issue with the transaction. Thankfully, eBay covers us, but in some of these cases, I really think they should take some kind of action and censure these people from these chargebacks. But like I said, it's not a common problem. It only happens occasionally with me, with chargebacks. I am a victim of what I call, or what eBay would call, heavy browse. This happened to me several times this week. I am in connection with many other eBay Motors sellers, not just through groups, but through text messages, this and that. And we often send each other links to some ridiculous eBay listings, to enjoy them and laugh. Especially when the person's asking 20 times the value. So one of my friends sent me a link to such a listing. I looked at it and I in turn sent it to another friend. And do you know that the seller sent me a 5% off offer, even though I never watched the item? I only clicked on it twice. Once was when my friend number one sent it to me. Then I clicked on it again when I sent it to my other friend and discussed it with him. This happened to me twice this week, where I was sent best offers on items I don't even want, and I have no intention of buying, and are not even in my watch list. It's been unusually slow, and it's very disheartening when I get the piano music and I think, oh my God, I'm getting an offer. Something good's happening. And it's nothing but a nag message. One that comes to mind this week was this item is ending soon, bid to win. You know what I did? I stopped everything I was doing, went right into my watch list and cleaned everything out. So that's one less thing I got to worry about. And also, for the last time, I do not need any funding. How many times a week do I get nag messages where eBay wants to loan me money? All right? I don't need it. If I did, I'd go to the bank. So yeah, the nag messages are still out there, my friends. Now, I want to talk about cancellations. And this is very, very discouraging to such a point that I have actually slightly changed my stance on cancellations. In the past, I would always accept a cancellation if I hadn't boxed the item yet, okay? Now, for the most part, I'm still doing that, but with one exception. And this is a little bit involved, so stick with me while I go through the complete cancellation explanations, reasoning, and experiences. So, I had a world's record amount of cancellations since I saw you guys last week. I'm not even gonna, I will tell you, 10. Who has 10 cancellations a week? Now, 1 or 2 is understandable. What happened Saturday was unforgivable. Saturday was a slow day. I made 4 sales. Well, you're saying, Joe, 4 sales ain't bad. Wait, listen to me. How many of those sales do you think canceled? Was it 1? Was it 2? Was it 3? Yes. 3 out of the 4 immediately canceled. When I say immediately, I will get the cha-ching on my phone. I reach for the phone. I haven't even touched it. And I get the bloop notification, cancellation requested. I don't physically know how anybody can work that fast to cancel. But within half a second. And it happened 3 times. Now, in all cases, these were people who clicked buy it now, paid right away, and then I imagine eBay showed them the same item cheaper. And that's why they want to cancel mine. Now, it's disheartening, it's aggravating, but since I haven't boxed anything, I'm still willing to agree to the cancellation in those cases. But I want to talk about 2 cases that I will not, and I'm going to actually tell you how I didn't agree to cancellations. I also have best offer on most of my items. So let's say the item is $40 plus shipping. In the cases I just alluded to, 3 people clicked on buy it now, boom, paid, then wanted to cancel. But let's talk more about best offer. I had a case the other day where a person looked at my item, it was $40 plus shipping, and he decided he didn't want to pay $40. Nothing wrong with that. He put a best offer in of $30. He manually put in the amount of $30, hit confirm. eBay told him it was a binding contract, that if I accepted the offer, he would be charged right away. He confirmed that. I accepted the offer. I got paid right away. What do you think happens? He put in a cancellation. I'm just so fed up with this, I declined it. Keep in mind, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't boxed a thing. But this guy went through several extra steps that the others did not. I've been noticing that everyone who pulls this hasn't bought anything on eBay in a while. And I think that it's catching them off guard that they're being charged right away. This particular buyer was from Iowa. So we'll see what happens with that. The item's on its way to him. I hope he enjoys it. If he wants to send it back on his dime, I'll accept it. All right? That's not a problem. But anytime they click that best offer and I accept it and they want to cancel, no, it's getting denied. I'm done. Now, on that topic, let's talk one more possibility that doesn't affect me, but it could affect some of you guys who still list in the auction format. Let's say you have an item you start at $50. It's a hot item, all right? Over the week's time, the bids go up and it gets to be, let's say, $95. Right as it's going to end, somebody swoops in, snipes it. All right? Let's say they offer $100. They get the item. Immediately they want to cancel. Don't do it. That shows premeditation, all right? They purposely waited to the very end of the listing to snipe your item, want it, and now, oh, I don't want it. And that ruined it, because had they not jumped in, you could have sold it for $95 to this serious buyer who was second in the list. This is a subject that comes up in the Facebook groups a lot. And if you want to call me a prick, you go right ahead and call me what you want. I'm a realistic prick, okay? Everybody has to watch out for themselves. Everybody has to act like an adult and behave like one and be responsible for their own behavior. And I certainly am, all right? I've been on eBay 25 years. I've never, ever canceled a sale in my life. If I bid or buy it now, whatever, I'm buying the item. Plain and simple. And it bums me out that there are people out there that aren't that way. And it seems to be getting worse. While we're on the subject of cancellations, let me jump back a little bit to one of the ones I alluded to earlier. One of the ones who clicked buy it now and paid a whopping $12 for an item. $12, all right? As soon as the sale goes through, I get the cancellation notice, okay? So what I decided to do, the very first thing, I use this, okay? Anyone that wants to cancel is going to get blocked. That's happening. So I blocked her. Before I could do anything else, remember, I haven't even agreed to the cancellation yet. What do you think happened? The same person bought another one from me, a second one. How could that happen considering I had them on my block list? That really stymies me. Now, they were only on my block list for about maybe 30 seconds, if that. So I don't know, maybe it was crossing over as it happened. I don't know. It just really, really bummed me out that she got through with the second one. So then I went back to the first one. I wanted to see if she wrote anything, and I accepted the cancellation on that one, on the first one, because she bought a second one. So, as I said, my gut feeling was to block her, which I did. What do you think happens 3 days later? The same person sends me an angry email to me, accusing me of charging her credit card twice. For the first one, which I canceled, and the second one. I wrote to her, and you know me, if you pepper me, I'll pepper you back. I said, why are you even telling me this? I said, I didn't charge you a penny. eBay charged you. I said, I agreed to the cancellation of the first one. I said, if you have any kind of a problem, you got to contact them. It's amazing. It doesn't happen often, but it's amazing how people think the seller is charging them directly to their credit card. Alrighty, let's move on to a couple of non-payers I want to talk about. It seems to vary week to week. One week I will get no deadbeat bidders at all. The next week I'll be inundated with them. I'm only going to talk about two this week, but these are two egregious ones. The first one sent me a lowball best offer on an item, which I declined. He was from Brick, New Jersey, which is southern New Jersey. He sent me a second offer, and I finally accepted an offer of $20 from him. And even that was too low. Okay? But I accepted it because eBay told me I'd be paid right away. Was I paid right away? Absolutely not. I have to imagine this lazy sloth from Brick, New Jersey didn't have $20 plus shipping on his card. So I waited a few hours, because that's all I'm waiting. I don't care. I got nothing to lose. I waited a few hours. No payment came in. I blocked him. I ended the listing. Why did I end it? Like I say every week, through a quirk in the eBay rules, even though I blocked him, and even though he didn't pay right away as promised, he could still swoop in 3 or 4 days later and get it at the bargain price. He ain't getting it, all right? If he can't keep his word and have 20 bucks on his card, I don't want to deal with him. So I relisted it for actually more money. It hasn't sold yet, but it just feels so god-darn good to do. Second guy really bummed me out, even worse. A guy sends me a best offer on an item, which was reasonable. And I recognized his name, his user ID, because last month, this same joker hit me with 3 or 4 questions on the same item. Like, for instance, will this fit my vehicle? What size is the lip? This and that. One question after the other. And the only reason I engaged with him last month was because, number one, it was an expensive item. I could have made a good amount on it. Number two, he had decent feedback, like about 800. So he looked like he was a serious buyer. Every question he asked me last month, I answered in a positive way, meaning, yes, it's exactly what you're looking for, more or less, is what I said. He never bought anything. In fact, he even left off by saying, let me check. I'm almost certain this is right for me. I'll buy them tomorrow. He bought nothing, but that's okay. I don't mind that. So what I did this weekend that just passed, out of sheer desperation, and I don't recommend this to any of you, I actually felt like I was prostituting myself. I don't think I need to get into any bigger detail, but that's exactly how I felt. I sent out offers to watchers. That never ends well in eBay Motors. So you never know who you're sending them to, by the way. So apparently I sent one to this same joker. And instead of accepting the offer I sent him, he responded with his own offer, which was still reasonable. I've got no problem with that. Okay? I accepted his offer. He never paid. Never paid. And of course, he does not get an unpaid item strike because the item remained on the shelf. It's a little different when you send offers to watchers. So I did what I always do. Number one, I blocked him. He ain't going to do it again to me. Number two, I ended the listing and relisted it. And number three, I even put in a clause, please, only make the purchase if you actually intend to pay. Back in the old days, let's say between 99 and 05, you could get away with putting the deadbeat bidder's user ID right in the listing. For instance, don't be like John Smith 25. He offered to buy my item and he never paid. I did it myself. I'm not bashful about it. I wish we could do it again. I used to see a lot of people doing it, and that's what gave me the idea. Don't be like John Smith 25 and not pay for the item. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you something, guys. I do miss the old days of eBay. It was like the Wild West. It was fun. And it was even, okay? It was a level playing field, not like it is today, lopsided in favor of the buyer. I'm not going to bother showing you any screenshots today or even any shots off my phone. But in one of the Facebook groups, somebody posted a person that's left about 50 negatives in a row. And I'm not exaggerating. And to make it even sweeter, they were from India. India! How is that even allowed? Aren't there any checks and balances as to abusive buyers? There aren't. I know that there are checks and balances to bad sellers, and I don't really have a problem with that because we want good sellers. And speaking of good sellers versus bad sellers, a week or two ago, I asked you guys a question about leaving negative feedback for someone that dicked me over royally. And 90% of the people that responded did not even answer the question that I posed. They basically told me I should send the items back and get a refund not as described. Now, in hindsight, I wish I had done that. I really do. That would have really stuck it up, because he sent me absolute garbage. All right? And I wrote to him and he basically told me to kiss off. All right? I lost money on this deal. The whole deal with shipping came to approximately $135, give or take. And all the good stuff that I saw in the picture was broken. Junk. Bent. There is nothing in the listing to say that the items were damaged in any way. In fact, he was saying how much they were worth. They're worth crazy money. You'll make money on this. And when I wrote back to him and told him they were all junk, he basically said, too bad. He said, I lost money on the shipping, so I guess we both lost. All right? The more I think about it, the more I think I'm going to leave him negative feedback. All right? I'm going to do it the right way, though. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to take pictures because I saved some of the bent ones, because some of the bent ones are made of stainless steel, and they're worth about maybe 15 cents each for scrap. Wow, I'm going to get back some of my money that way. But I'm going to take pictures with the negative feedback, and I'm going to show the people exactly what he sent me. But I had asked you guys in the video, I said, do you think I should leave him negative feedback? Because it's something I hate to do. And almost everybody answered a question I didn't ask. They said, send it back. They didn't say, yes, leave the negative, or no, don't. The few that did respond correctly basically said, neg him. So yeah, that happened. And that's something I think I'm going to do. But if you want to jump in with a comment, I'd be more than happy to read it. Sales this week were once again absolutely disgustingly bad. Really bad. Let me explain how bad they were. And I don't even know if you're going to grasp this. I made some purchases this week. 2 bulk purchases with some good stuff. I was real happy. All right? When I say good stuff, I mean stuff that I know has always sold well, can bring decent money. I mean, yeah, I'm set. I listed all these items. I priced my items competitively. These are things that in the past would have sold within 24 hours. I haven't sold anything. I haven't. Not from the hot load. No. All the good stuff's still up on the shelf. Weird, right? One more thing I want to bring up, and I don't know if I've mentioned it in the past, but it also boggles my mind. When you go sourcing, and let's say you come across a hot item, something you've sold before. Let's say you've sold it for $50. And let's say the person you're buying from is asking $20 each. You know it's a home run. You buy all you can get. You go to list them on eBay, you take your pictures, and then you double check. You check just to be sure what other sellers are charging. And just like you, most sellers are charging $50 each. But you come across a few large-scale sellers that are giving the things away for $20. Ridiculous. It happens in eBay Motors, and it always happens with junkyards. There is no reason they should be selling theirs for $20 when everybody else is getting $50, and they could easily hold out for $50 or at least $40, and they would get it. But no, they got to give it away for $20, and it deflates the value to all the smaller sellers. I've noticed this time and time again on eBay. Usually when you come across somebody like this, they have exactly one picture of the item instead of 12 to 24 like the rest of us. Unbelievable, but true. I can't tell you how many times lately I've gone on to eBay and I've seen something where they have not only one picture, but a generic picture. For instance, if it's a car part for a 1986 Chevy Caprice, they'll have a picture of just the car. And it will say taillight for 1986 Caprice, picture of the car. Transmission, 1986, picture of the car, etc., etc. I cannot see how that would inspire buyer confidence. I really can't. That's not the way I roll. 12 to 24 pictures on everything for cute Joey. All right, guys. That's basically all I'm going to discuss in tonight's video. Please feel free to share your comments, questions, and concerns on any of the eBay topics I brought up or any eBay topics you want to discuss. I hope you make a lot of money on eBay this week. Rock on. Oh, and remember, I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. I hope you found this video enjoyable, entertaining, and I hope you learned something from it. I want to hear your experiences. Talk to me. Talk to us. Rock on and peace. Wait. One more thing I want to discuss. I almost forgot. I am still getting reminder messages for eBay Open 2025. This is the first year since 2012 it has not sold out. Today is July 25th. The event starts August 12th. Never in the history of Open has this happened before. If anybody from eBay is watching this video, speaking for all the people on the East Coast, please reconsider. And once in a while, throw us a bone. Have it on the East Coast. You have no idea how inconvenient it can be for an East Coast member to fly that long flight all the way out. Now I realize we got to take it once in a while. We got to take it on the chin. Of course, I don't mind. I'm not saying it's got to be on the East Coast every single time. No, but please help us out once in a while. Every 3 or 4 years, I'd be happy with that. Never once since 2012. Never once. It's always Vegas. The last time they ever had anything on the East Coast was 2012 in Philly. And I'll tell you right now, if it was in Philly, I would go. Definitely New York City, I would go. But I can't do Vegas. Nah, too much. Thanks, guys. Definitely this time, rock on and peace.